So, yesterday we played around with semi-rifle Cannonade, and today we're going to be playing around with semi-pistol Cannonade. Now, the problem with semi-pistol Cannonade is that a lot of the fun secondary semi-automatic pistols have a secondary fire that's not semi-automatic, which prevents the use of Cannonade. And a few of them also have relatively low base fire rate, which makes Cannonade feel pretty bad. So it took me a while to pick the right weapon, but in the end I landed on the Kuva Brakk. This is a semi-automatic secondary shotgun that does primarily impact damage, but it still has a decent chunk of slash and puncture, and it has a base multi-shot of 10. It sports a 29% crit chance, a 2x crit multiplier, and an 11.1% status chance per projectile, but most importantly it has a base fire rate of 5, which is more than enough. And since it is a Kuva weapon, the only way to get it is by vanquishing a lich that's wielding it. So let's give it a shot, shall we? I can't believe I haven't done a proper build on the Kuva Brakk, so let's start off with an adapter. We're gonna start off with Merciless, but I'm pretty sure we're not gonna stick to it, because we're gonna get a lot of base damage from Cannonade, so we don't really need this. Speaking of Cannonade, let's get it on. This is a really strong mod, especially on secondaries, because Hornet Strike is stronger than Serration and Point Blank, so you get 300% damage plus the punch through. Let's get Galvanized Diffusion and Galvanized Shot. We're not gonna run Lethal Torrent because we don't get the fire rate from it. One of the benefits of Cannonade is that you don't get the negative fire rate from Corrupted Crit mod, so let's get Creeping Bullseye and Target Cracker. I'm tempted to just go with Corrosive and Heat because we have a lot of status and multi-shot, so the armor strip is gonna be really nice. However, I do want to try Blast and Electricity first, because I have a cool idea here. That idea is Conjunction Voltage. On Electricity status effect you get reload speed and multi-shot. I think this might be good because we're not running Lethal Torrent, so this will kind of back up our multi-shot and also give us a ton of reload speed. I mean, we might as well put on Steady Hands, because why not? Let's actually not do Steel Path right off the bat. This is actually quite cool, it definitely works, however I am worried about Steel Path because this is a shotgun, so the damage of each individual pellet isn't particularly high, so the damage of the Blast and Electricity procs is not gonna be as good as it is on a normal semi-automatic weapon. Well, let's try it. Yeah, that's what I was worried about, it doesn't scale very well. Let's try the Bombard as well. Yeah, that's way too many shots. It would be better if we had Armor Strip, but as it is on its own, nope. I want to try Empowered with Corrosive and Heat. That was the original idea for this, so let's do that. There we go. What's the damage distribution here? I do have a Heat-based Brakk. That's not too bad. Oh yes, that is more like it. That is tremendous. My god, that is... wow, that is much stronger. Though to be fair, these dudes are weak to Corrosive, so let's try another faction. Let's do a Narmer battle group instead. There's basically no difference here, that's ridiculous. The armor strip is too strong for these guys, yeah, so it doesn't matter that they're not weak to corrosive, this should be absolutely fine pretty much everywhere. My initial instinct was correct. I would much rather have a cold-based Brakk, so if you're gonna go for a Brakk, I would recommend you go for a cold one, because then you can go corrosive and cold, which is generally much better for hybrid setups, because you get the extra crit and crit damage and you can freeze enemies, and just slowing enemies down is amazing. It's amazing for Acolytes. I love cold versus Acolytes. Let's try it in a normal mission. The awesome thing about builds like these is they have no ramp up. You just get some extra multi-shot and a bit of condition overload, and even that only takes a handful of kills to kick in. I'm liking it so far, I haven't run into anything that would feel bad yet. The range is limited, but I mean, it's a semi-automatic secondary shotgun, what do you expect? I was worried that the base fire rate was not gonna be enough and it was gonna feel sluggish, but not really. It feels absolutely a-okay. The burst damage on this is ridiculous, and so is the sustained damage because the reload is nice and fast. This is what I've been waiting for. I have a feeling Torment is not gonna have a good day today, greetings. Yep, that is awesome. Yes, this feels damn good. I want to try the voltage setup again because I'm worried I may have dismissed it a little bit too fast. I wanted to try it against other factions, specifically the Infested and Corpus, but it's just... yeah, the individual Blast and Electricity procs are just not doing that much, so I think even here, with the Infested not having any armor on them, you'd be better off with Corrosive and Heat or Corrosive and Cold. Or something else. So this is a no from me, dog. Let's do a Corpus test with the Corrosive setup. Okay, yep, pretty much what I expected. Still very good, even versus the Corpus, so yeah, this is just a good setup overall. Again though, it would be better if it was Corrosive and Cold, so if you're gonna get a Kuva Brakk, get a Cold one instead. I'm actually starting to like Corrosive versus the Corpus, because a lot of the really beefy units do have armor, and it's really nice to be able to strip them. You know, stuff like Bursas and Ambulas and all that, and the weaker units like the normal Moas or Crewmen are not that strong, so you don't necessarily need to tailor your damage types to them, unless you're going like deep into Steel Path. Yeah, even like the beefier Eximus like Guardian or Frost don't stand a chance, they go down within a magazine, which is good. That's very good. I like it. And once again, we finished the mission too fast, so no Acolyte this time. No biggie though, because we already know this is fantastic versus Acolytes. Now, we have been running without Harrow this entire time, but let's also try it without Archon charts as well. I decided to try it against an armor, so they're not weak to Corrosive, and honestly, I can't really tell much of a difference. I think it's because of the armor changes. Armor is just not as ridiculously strong as it was pre-update, so yeah, Archon charts make very little difference here actually. That's good, so you don't necessarily need to run Emerald Archon charts to use this. So here's the final Cannonade build for the Kuva Brakk, and it's an absolute banger. We ended up running Cascadia Empowered for this setup, which is just really nice because it makes it so that whenever you proc a status effect, you will do 750 damage or up to 750 damage that matches that damage type. So if, for example, you proc Impact, you will also do 750 impact damage. This is just a nice bonus on top because we don't need the base damage from stuff like Merciless or Deadhead or even Flare. We get more than enough base damage from Cannonade and Galvanized Shot. But anyway, the build runs Galvanized Diffusion for multi-shot, Galvanized Shot for status chance and condition overload, Creeping Bullseye for a bunch of crit at the cost of no fire rate because we're running Cannonade, and we have Prime Target Cracker for a bunch of crit damage. Then we have a combination of Scorch, Pistol Pestilence and Jade, which gives us Corrosive and Heat plus a bunch of status, though once again it would be better if you had a cold base Kuva Brakk and you ran Corrosive and Cold. Then we are of course running Semi-Pistol Cannonade for a bunch of base damage as well as Punch Through, and we top it all off with Steady Hands, which you don't necessarily need, but the recoil reduction is definitely nice. This ended up being a little bit stronger than I expected. I knew it was gonna be good because the Kuva Brakk is good and the Cannonade mods on the right weapon are very strong, but yeah, this exceeded my expectations by quite a bit. It's fun, it does a lot of damage, and it's universally good as well, so you don't really need to swap stuff around as you move from planet to planet. It works everywhere. So if you don't have the Kuva Brakk yet, I would absolutely recommend you get it and give it a shot with the new Cannonade mods. And as always guys, I thank you very much for watching and I hope you've enjoyed the video. I would also like to extend a special thank you to all the channel members. Thank you very much guys, I really appreciate your support, it means a lot to me. And I will see you next time. Bye bye.